I am 93 years old, and there are things my children will never hear me say. Not because I don't trust them, not because I am hiding something shameful, because some truths, once spoken, can never be taken back. I learned this the hard way. I opened my mouth when I shouldn't have, and it cost me something I can't get back. If you are past 70 and you love your children, listen carefully. These 5 secrets can destroy what took you a lifetime to build. I was 74 when I sat my daughter down at her kitchen table. I thought I was being honest. I thought honesty was always the right thing. I thought she'd hold my hand and say she understood, that we'd be closer for it. I told her something about her father and me, something I'd carried for 40 years, and the look on her face changed everything between us. She didn't yell, she didn't cry, she just went quiet, and that quiet has lasted almost 20 years now. If you are sitting with a secret right now, wondering if it is time to tell your children, this is for you. I am not judging you. I was you. But some doors, once opened, you can never close again. Here is what I know now. Honesty without wisdom is just cruelty wearing a good mask. And after 70, your children don't need your confessions. They need your peace. Secret number 1. Never tell your children exactly how much money you have, or how little. I watched my neighbor Margaret tell her 3 sons exactly what she had in savings, down to the last dollar. She thought she was being transparent. Within 6 months, one son wanted a loan. Another started questioning how she spent her grocery money. The third stopped calling because he assumed she didn't need anything. 3 sons, 3 different reactions, all of them wrong, and all of them her fault for telling. Money changes the way your children see you. Too much, and they start waiting too little, and they start worrying in a way that steals your dignity. Keep your finances between you and your attorney. Your children need to know your wishes, not your balance. And here is what nobody tells you. Secret number 2. Never tell your children the real reason your marriage almost fell apart. I told my daughter about the year her father and I nearly divorced. I told her why. I thought she was old enough. She was 52, but she wasn't old enough. No child is ever old enough to hear that about their parents. It doesn't give them closure. It gives them a wound. She started looking at every old photograph differently. Every holiday memory got rewritten in her mind. Every time her father had been late. Every argument she'd overheard through the bedroom wall. It all had a new meaning now. I didn't just tell her a secret. I stole her childhood from her retroactively. Your marriage is yours. The messy parts, the dark parts, the parts that almost broke you, carry them. That is your job, not theirs. But this next one might sting a little. Secret number 3. Never tell your children that you have a favorite, even if they already suspect it. Even if they ask you directly. I know. I can feel some of you tensing up right now, because it is true for almost every parent, and none of us want to admit it. I had 3 children. I loved all 3 with everything I had, but one of them understood me in a way the others didn't. One of them felt like home when they walked in the room, and I carried that quietly for decades. I never said it out loud until I did. It was Thanksgiving. I'd had a glass of wine. My middle son asked me point blank, and I answered honestly because I was tired of pretending. He laughed it off that night, but he hasn't hosted Thanksgiving since. That was 11 years ago. Your favoritism is your burden, not theirs. Love them differently if you have to, but never rank them out loud. Stay with me. This one is important. Secret number 4. Never tell your children how afraid you really are. I am afraid. I wake up at 3 in the morning and I am afraid of what is coming. Afraid of losing my mind before my body. Afraid of being a burden. Afraid of dying alone in a hospital room while my children are stuck in traffic somewhere trying to get to me. I told my youngest daughter about these fears once. I thought she'd comfort me. Instead, I watched the color drain from her face. She started calling me 3 times a day. She stopped taking vacations. She rearranged her entire life around my fear. She put her own marriage, her own happiness, her own peace on hold because I handed her my fear, and she couldn't put it down. Your fear is real. I am not telling you to deny it. I feel it too every single night. But tell your journal, tell your priest, tell your best friend who is the same age and understands. Don't tell your children. They'll try to carry it, and it'll crush them. And the last one, this is the one I almost didn't include, because it is the one I am most ashamed of. Secret number 5. Never tell your children that you regret the sacrifices you made for them. I gave up a career I loved when my second child was born. I gave up travel. I gave up friendships that needed time I didn't have. I gave up a version of myself that I sometimes miss so badly. It takes my breath away. And one Christmas, after too much wine and not enough sleep, I told my son. I said the words. I said I sometimes wonder what my life would have been. He heard something I didn't say. He heard that he was the reason I lost myself. He heard that choosing him was the wrong choice. That is not what I meant, not even close. But it is what he heard, and it is what he carries, and I can't take it back. I've tried 100 times. He says he is fine, but I see it in him every time he apologizes for asking me for anything, every time he insists on paying for dinner, every time he says, I don't want to be a bother. Your sacrifices were yours to make. And maybe you do have regrets. That is human. But the moment you hand those regrets to your child, they become guilt. And guilt is a poison that never stops working. I know what you might be thinking. You are thinking, but isn't honesty important? Don't I owe my children the truth? And yes, honesty matters, but not every truth is a gift. Some truths are a transfer. You are not freeing yourself. You are loading your pain onto someone who never asked to carry it. I've watched too many mothers my age unburden themselves and call it courage. It is not courage. It is exhaustion dressed up as honesty. And your children pay the price every single time. And your children, no matter how old they are, will always be your children. They can't unhear what you tell them. I am not saying lie to them. I am saying protect them. There is a difference. Protecting someone isn't the same as deceiving them. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is carry your own weight, quietly, gracefully, even when it hurts. Even when every part of you wants to set it down and let someone else hold it for a while. I've spent 20 years wishing I could undo 3 conversations. 20 years, 3 sentences. That is all it took. 3 sentences I can't take back. and every one of them started with me thinking I was doing the right thing. So if you are 70 or 80 or 90 and you are sitting with something heavy tonight, I am asking you, don't reach for the phone. Write it down, pray about it. Talk to someone your own age who understands. But don't hand it to your child and call it love, because the greatest gift you can give your children at this age isn't your truth. It is your peace. It is your calm face at the dinner table. It is your steady voice on the phone. Let them remember you as the mother who held it together, even when it was hard, especially when it was hard. That is the legacy worth leaving. Not your secrets, your strength. And if you are watching this and you've already said something you wish you hadn't, hear me. Forgive yourself. You were doing your best with what you knew. You were tired. You were lonely. You were human. But now you know. Now you can choose differently. And that choice, that quiet, dignified choice to carry your own weight, that is the deepest kind of love. If this found you at the right time, pass it to someone who needs it and come back. I've got more to tell you.